Hey y'all, I'm Wilson. Welcome to my little shop here. And believe it or not, I have cleaned up a little bit since the last video. Shop is still a mess. I done got a lot of stuff out of here, put a lot of stuff in storage because I'm fixing to work on the shop itself. I got that back wall there behind the panel saw cleaned off. I got all my old scrap and junk and old doors out from back there, and I'm fixing to, I think that's going to be the first wall I start rebuilding. But anyway, I'm trying to get some work done in here too and do some videos. I'll be starting on our project video. I'll get back on that probably later on today. But right now I was in the middle of getting some stuff ready for a desk I got to build. All going to be alder. The tops are going to be actual wood. And that's what I'm working on right now. And doing tops, you got to make sure your boards are as straight as you can possibly get them. I mean, you're going to clamp them up, but you can't pull a big old bow out of a 5-inch board with a clamp sometimes. So you want to start out as straight as you can possibly get them. I had a couple of my boards that were warped. Here, let me show you what I've got over here anyway. I got a couple of boards that were a little warped, a little bowed. I needed to straighten them out. And when I get my lumber in, it's dressed out at 13/16. I'll have one side that is straight line rip, and then the other side is rough cut. And even though it's been straight line ripped, sometimes that board will get a bow to it, even after it's been ripped. Most of the time, I'm just doing face frames, cabinets. I can bring it, cut it straight to the planer, and it's fine. But like I say, for these tops, I want to make sure that everything is nice and as straight as it can be. And I don't have a joiner, so I'm going to be straightening these boards out, or I've already straightened them out. I'm doing it with a table saw, and I was just going to kind of show y'all how I was doing it. Thought it might make a little interesting video. Now, like I say, I've already straightened them out, but I'm going to take this one here and kind of run it through just for an example, show you how I'm doing this. I've got a straight edge that I got put together. I got it made 10 foot. It's out of 3/4 plywood, and of course 3/4 plywood, 8 foot long. So I got it spliced together right here with a nice long scab board screwed on top of it. You can double it up all the way if you want to. It gives it a little better spot for your board to sit on. But I was a little tight on plywood, so I just did what I did the bare minimum on this that I had to do. This is 5 inches wide. Like I say, it's 3/4 plywood. So it stays pretty straight. If you're worried about it being straight after you've stored it for a while, just take your level. I got a 6-foot level here. I like a long level when I'm checking stuff like this. Just put your level up to it. As long as your level is straight, you can slide it up it and just kind of eyeball it there. And as long as it's contacting that surface all the way up, you're good and straight. You can check your boards that way too. There's several different ways to check and see how straight they are. This is like a 6-foot board, and like I say, I've already straightened it, and it is real good on there. But I'm just going to run it just for the hell of it. Just to show y'all what I'm doing, I'm just going to shave a little off the side. When you're straightening them up, it's best to cut the board as short as you can. Cut it as close to the measurement that you need as possible, because the longer the board gets, the more awkward it is to try to straighten it on the table saw. But anyway, I've got this right here. What I do is I put it up there. You want to make sure it's not rocking. You want your crown away from your straight edge. You want the two ends, if the board is bowed, you want the two ends to contact your straight edge. You don't want it rocking or bowing. If it rocks, that means your crown is this, and you need to flip it over and put your crown away from it. Anyway, like I said, this one's pretty straight. We're just going to be running it like this. But when you get it on there, you got it set up the way you want it. You take and just measure. Of course, you know this is 5, so if you already know the measurement on this board, you can just set it up, no problem. But you can come and you can take a measurement, measure it to the front, measure it to the back, measure it to the middle, make sure that you've got cutting off enough to take out the bow, but you don't want to take off too much. You don't want to waste any wood. Alright, this is simple as can be, but like anything else on a table saw, it can be dangerous. Get your jig in position first. General rule of thumb, do not bring anything over the top of the table saw blade. But in this case, just make sure you don't drop it. Bring it over, set it to the fence. Never slam anything into the fence, always ease it to it. I got my jig there, got my board here. I'm going to take the board and put it up against there. Just slide this back, be careful, do not bump into that blade. Get that against the fence. And now you can see why this is awkward with a longer board. The further you are back here, the less control you have over the front. But anyway, just get it set right there. And I didn't even set my table saw there. I'm sitting here running my mouth, talking away on this video. And I didn't even set my table saw. Boy, that's real bright. I would just delete the video and do a new one, but I don't care. I'm right at 10 inches all the way to the outside. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to leave the blade running, so nobody start crying about it. I'm just going to use that right there. Walk that fence right where I need it to. Just don't touch the blade, and you're all right. Now, back to what I was doing. Back up, make sure you don't bump that blade, backing everything up. Set it to the fence. Now you're going to use this hand, unless you got the little, whatchamacallit, the little, I don't even know what they call it. I don't use that shit, I always use my hands. I got some little rubber things that you can put on the board and help hold it and push. Y'all like them, that's fine. I never use that shit. Get your hand on there, and you're going to be running like this. When you start getting closer, remember, this hand here is only for holding it to the fence. You're not pushing with this hand. Because the closer you get to the blade, the more likely you are to slip if you're pushing. If you're pushing forward, you can slip and get your fingers right in that damn blade. Never push with the hand that's in front of the damn blade. And that's it. You just straighten your board out right there. That's all it is to it. Like anything else with a table saw, it is dangerous. Just because you got a damn blade spinning right there, right at you. Just be careful. No matter what you do, just be careful. Especially when you're on the table saw. But you see how I got so far. This thing right here is straight, so once you get so far, you don't have to keep pushing the whole thing through. You got this straight, you're contacting on both points, so you can stop and just push this board on through. It's still contacting this like it was a full-size fence. Alright y'all, I gotta get back to work. I'm trying to get some work done today. I just got the Mosaic software. I've been doing a lot of drawings for another shop, and I do all my drawings by hand. But I just got the Mosaic software, and I'm trying to figure that out. And I am really enjoying it right now. It's a lot easier than drawing by hand. If y'all have ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I got to get back to work, so I'm fixing to shut y'all off, and we'll get back on another video here soon. Like I say, I got a project I was doing with y'all. I'm on about the 4th or 5th video on that thing. Trying to do it just step by step, the whole thing. But anyway, I think I'm going to get back to it maybe a little bit later on today. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be safe out there and have fun. See you on the next one.